The last voicemail, the sound of rain taps against a window. It's light, but coming down fast. A cell phone screen lights up in the dark, displaying one new voicemail. The voicemail plays, distorted, whispering, "You shouldn't have gone to the police, Leah. Now I have to show you what happens to snitches. Look outside." The camera pans to a bedroom window. A shadowy figure stands in the rain, staring up from the street. Lee Carter, a 28-year-old true crime podcaster, bolts upright in bed. She scrambles to her laptop and replays the voicemail. The caller ID is blocked. Her hands shake as she checks her latest episode, deep dive into an unsolved murder from her hometown. In it, she accused a powerful local businessman, Marcus Voss, of covering up the crime. Flashback, a smoky bar. Marcus leaning across a table, his voice low. "Drop the story, Leah. Some ghosts should stay buried." But she can't. She won't. Present. Lee's phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Too late. Lee grabs her keys and flees her apartment. Her car won't start, the battery's dead. Through the rain-streaked window, she sees the figure from the street, now standing at the far end of the parking lot. This can't be coincidence. Or can it? Get out of your head, thinks Leah. This is just a run of bad luck. She sprints to a 24-hour diner across the street. The waitress eyes her soaked clothes. "Waitress, you okay, hon?" Lee. "Call 911. Someone's following me." The diner's TV plays a news segment. Marcus Voss announced as keynote speaker at tonight's charity gala downtown. Lee's phone rings. The voicemail voice again. "Running just makes it more fun." Outside, a black sedan crawls past the diner. A cop arrives but finds no stalker. Lee insists on filing a report. As the officer types, his radio crackles. "All units burglary in progress at 241 Maple. Suspect armed." Lee's blood runs cold. 241 Maple is her address. As her heart pounds in her chest, she can't help but feel helpless, thinking the worst, desperate for help. The cop leaves. Lee doesn't want him to. This can't be happening, she thinks. The waitress offers Lee her phone to call a friend. But when Lee dials, the line connects instantly to the voicemail voice. "Thanks for the new toy, Leah." The waitress smirks, pulling a knife from her apron. Lee bolts into the kitchen, barricading the door. The waitress slams against it, laughing. Waitress, "Marcus pays well for loose ends." Lee spots a fire exit. She kicks it open and stumbles into an alley where Marcus Voss stands, holding a syringe. "Marcus, you were supposed to let it go." A gun cocks. The cop from earlier steps into the light. "Cop, Hollow Creek PD. Hands where I can see him. Voss." Marcus lunges. A gunshot rings out. Lee sits in a police interrogation room. The cop slides her a file labeled 241 Maple. Inside, crime scene photos of the waitress's body dead for 12 hours. Cop, "You're lucky we tailed Voss, but Lee, who left that first voicemail." Her phone buzzes. A new message. "You're welcome, SM." Cut to black. Fade in. Lee's trembling hands clutching the police file. The interrogation room fluorescents buzz overhead as the camera pushes in on the text message. "You're welcome, SM." Lee demands to see the evidence locker. The cop hesitates, then shows her a dusty box labeled Blackwater Ravine 2009. Inside, a police report for another missing woman, Sarah Mercer. Initials SM. A photo of Sarah wearing the same locket found near Emily's body. A note in familiar handwriting. "Marcus always pays his debts." Lee, "He killed Sarah too." Cop, grim. "All Someone wanted us to think that. Asterisk flashback. The diner's TV. Marcus at the gala, time stamped 9:03 p.m. Lee got the first voicemail at 8:11 p.m. Marcus couldn't have sent it. Asterisk Lee tracks down Sarah's sister, Maggie Mercer, now a recluse in a trailer near Blackwater Ravine. Maggie, whispering. Sarah recorded Marcus admitting to the murders, buried the tape where they'd never look under her own grave. Thunder rolls. A shadow passes the trailer's curtained window. Midnight. Lee and Maggie dig at Sarah's official gravesite. Empty, per police records. Their shovels strike metal-rusted voice recorder. Lee presses play. Marcus's voice. 2009. I own this town. Bury the Mercer girl deep, or you'll join her. Maggie. But that's not Marcus. The voice shifts the same distortion from Leah's voicemail. It's Detective Reynolds, Marcus's fixer. Headlights flood the graveyard. Reynolds steps out, service revolver drawn. Reynolds. Should have quit while you were ahead. Maggie tackles him. Leah grabs the recorder and runs, but Reynolds fires. Maggie goes down. Lee dives into the ravine as bullets shred the trees. Dawn. Lee's podcast goes live worldwide. Lee. Voiceover. If you're hearing this, I'm already dead. But Hollow Creek's ghosts? They're just getting started. The recorder audio plays. Cut to Reynolds arresting Marcus at the gala. The crowd gasps. The camera lingers on Marcus's furious whisper. Marcus. You set me up. Asterisk. Smash cut to Lee watching from a motel TV. She drops a locket marked LC into a mailbox addressed to a news station. Fade to black. Post-credits sting. A gloved hand retrieves the locket from the mailbox. The wrist bears a Hollow Creek PD tattoo. Fade in. Static. A security camera feed glitches to life, showing Lee's motel room door swinging open. The timestamp reads 3:33 a.m. AM hours after she mailed the locket. Leah wakes to the smell of gasoline. Outside her window, a shadowy figure douses the motel walkway in fuel. She grabs the fire escape only to find Detective Reynolds waiting on the landing, his face lit by the flare of his lighter. Reynolds. You don't get to leave Hollow Creek, Leah. None of us do. He drops the lighter. Lee barely kicks out the window as flames engulf the room behind her. Lee stumbles through storm drains beneath the town, guided by graffiti symbols Maggie mentioned before she died. The tunnels reek of rot and wet metal. A makeshift shrine appears. Newspaper clippings of every missing woman since 1995, all linked to Marcus's businesses. At the center, a fresh Polaroid of Leah at the diner. A voice echoes from the dark. They're not trophies, they're receipts. Sarah Mercer's sister Maggie steps forward, very much alive, clutching a hunting rifle. Lee can't believe her eyes. Maggie. Reynolds told you I died so you'd run here. These tunnels are how they moved the bodies. Maggie reveals the truth. Marcus was the money. Reynolds was the muscle. But the third man, the one who left the voicemails, who took the lockets, was always Sheriff Ellis, Reynolds' predecessor. She hands Leah Ellis's ledger, detailing payoffs to judges, reporters, even Leah's original cop ally. Lee. Why show me this now? Maggie cocking the rifle. Because Ellis is coming. And tonight, the rats eat well. Ellis's voice booms through the tunnels, amplified by a bullhorn. Maggie Mercer, wanted for arson, kidnapping, and the murder of Detective Reynolds. Flashback, the motel fire. Reynolds screaming as Ellis watches from a squad car, smiling. Maggie shoves Lee into a side tunnel just as Ellis's men open fire. The ledger falls into filthy water butt, not before Lee snaps a photo with her dying phone. Outside, Dawn is becoming the night sky. A news van's satellite dish hums to life in the woods. Lee's phone, duct taped to the transmitter, auto sends the ledger photo to every major outlet. Cut to Ellis at a press conference, interrupted as his own officers cuff him. The camera lingers on his wrist. No tattoo. Smash cut to a new locket engraved HC for Hollow Creek, placed on Maggie's shrine. The hand that leaves it wears the police tattoo. Fade to black. A podcast plays. If you're hearing this, look under your own town's streets. Lee's voice, but the upload date is 5 years in the future.